Konnichiwa, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about selling to skeptics. Eigo desu. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. This is the 8th year of the Sales Japan series podcast, broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minatoku, here in downtown Tokyo. It is chic central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anatomo Present no Tachizen. Plus, Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Mudni Suru wa Yamimashou. And all are available on Amazon. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive and even better, thrive in business. I want you to 1, sell more and do it more easily. 2, exceed your target. In fact, let's blow up your targets. Number 3, make some serious money. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We're not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 382. And today, we are talking about selling to skeptics on the small screen in Japan. We are slowly emerging from COVID, yet a few leftovers are still hanging around, making our sales life complicated. One of those is the sales call conducted on the small screen using Teams or Zoom or whatever. These meetings are certainly efficient for the buyers because they can get a lot of calls done more easily, and for salespeople, it cuts out a lot of trouble. Efficient isn't always effective, though. In my view, we should always try to be in person with the buyer. Some may say I'm old school, and that is quite true. Old school, though, has a lot of advantages when selling. Being there with them, we can take the client through the materials much more easily, and we can read their body language in depth and minutely. Buyers are always skeptical about salespeople because everyone is risk averse and concerned about getting conned or taken for a ride. When we're in the room together, they can get a better sense of who we are. They can read our body language to make sure our words match up with the intentions we are spruking. I had a sales call with a new client, and being in the room together, I could hand over the training manual and take him through it page by page, explaining the content of what he would be buying. I could easily control what page he was on so that we were in sync. We have to be careful when handing materials over that we're on page 5, and so are they, rather than they are racing ahead of us to page 20. The commentary coming out of our mouth has to line up with what they are looking at in the materials. It happens that they race ahead of us, so we have to be aware of that danger and control what the buyer is looking at very carefully. I had another new client sales meeting, this time online, and with 3 people on their side. They degenerate into 3 tiny little boxes on screen, and it gets worse once you start sharing documents online. It is very hard to read three people's reactions when you are in the room with them, let alone trying to do it remotely. As we know, the current systems aren't as good as teleprompter technology. You can look into a camera lens on a teleprompter and read the text appearing on screen at the same time. With these various virtual platforms, the camera is located on one part of the computer screen, usually the top, and the people you're talking to are located way down below. You have to make a choice. Look at the camera and not at your audience, or look at your audience and not at the camera. The teleprompter technology eliminates that choice, but it hasn't been applied to the virtual world as yet. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, and we also have custom in-house programs as well as both in Japanese and English. We do classes in our super safe classroom and we do them live online. Our show today is being brought to you by, on the 9th of May, our Dale Carnegie course, 3-day version. On the 5th of June, we'll be doing the same Dale Carnegie course, this time the 12-week version. Go to our website at japan-dalecarnegie.co.jp. That's Japan, Japan, hyphen, Dale, D-A-L-E, Carnegie, CARNEGIE.co.jp. Get my best-selling books. Japan Sales Mastery, which in Japanese is Zaegyo. This is the Bible for selling in Japan. Japan Business Mastery, Japan Presentations Mastery, which is Anatomo Present no Tatsujin in translation. Plus, Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muni Sunu wa Yamimashou. And all available from Amazon. If you like learning by watching videos, we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, the premier business show in Japan, every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show. And on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. That's Greg, G-R-E-G, .story, S-T-O-R-Y, @dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. In this situation, I look at my camera and I give up trying to read the reaction of the buyers online. This is a big give up, by the way, and most unsatisfactory. I do it this way because what they see is me speaking directly to them, making eye contact all the time. From their screen angle, they see me staring straight at them. This creates the sense of trustworthiness. On screen, I can keep staring at them intensely without it creating any tension, as would happen in Japan if we were in person. Japanese culture avoids too much direct eye contact. This is why people look at our chin or throat or forehead. On screen, though, we are safely removed, and so if we look down the barrel of that lens, we can keep applying the eye contact without it becoming intrusive. It allows us to connect with the viewers. Yes, we cut out the travel time and the cost to get to the client, but we're giving up a lot more in return. Being there is so much better and more valuable. Yes, it may take 3 hours there and back to hold a meeting, and only 1 hour to do it online. But that 1 hour in person enables us to be so much more persuasive. We're also better able to recognize the pushback or reluctance. It's almost impossible to read the vibe going on between the attendees on their side. When you're all together in the room, you can see if there's any difference of opinion amongst the buyer group or cases where one person is not on board with the idea. On screen, that is much more disguised. These various elements are hard to gauge on the small screen. We often find ourselves doing too much talking to compensate for the restricted nature of the small screen interaction. We feel we have to add energy and vitality to the sales process in a way we don't feel such a strong need when we're in person. The communication distance gets us ramping up our side of the conversation to try and inject some enthusiasm into the buyer group. We're trying to will them to buy because we feel the remoteness of the situation. Buyers are often working from home these days, and so they insist on online meetings. Remember, for them, not buying is the safest and preferred option. We, on the other hand, have a duty to help supply solutions to buyers, and for us, we should always choose the best medium for that purpose. That superior medium is definitely face-to-face. So let's try to make sure the vast majority of client meetings are held in person. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, then please work on your karma and share this with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned. Go out there and survive. Use it and make some serious money. Bucks, dough, ruler, coin, dosh, lolly, readies, smackers, earners, and bread and honey. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.